Hey, I'm back and I want to welcome you to the most important page that you're going to be studying from with this program. And what I mean is this: if you are planning to be successful in the real estate business, you're going to need a track to run on. I am not going to be in a hurry. I'm going to break these tutorials up into 5 to 8 minute segments. I understand if someone talks on and on for half hour, 45 minutes, it's boring. So I'm going to break this up so that you can completely digest the information so it becomes usable. I'm going to follow the website that goes along with the tutorial, because until you actually learn it, you may need to use the website. Now, will you use everything here? No. You're only going to have access to what I call the 7 segments of real estate, I guess what I'm saying, real estate ways you can make money in real estate, put it that way. Now, you're only going to be using maybe 1 or 2 of the ideas and strategies here that's going to actually produce the wealth you need. Once you become, once you do your first 5 or 6 or 7 deals, then you can go into some of the advanced ideas that's on here. But I don't want you to get hung up on all this stuff that needs perfect credit and bank loans and lines of credit and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. The information I'm going to give you in these tutorials, you will not need to use your credit. You will not need to use your money. You will not need to use your contractors. You will not need to actually do and fix up nothing. All you have to do is bring the buyers and the sellers together. I'll do the rest. And I will pay you and reward you handsomely for just doing those 2 things. So if that's not a problem, let's begin. As you look at the site, this particular page, which by the way is Pitt's Premier Fix and Flip.com, which is, I'm going to give it to you, so don't worry about trying to memorize it or try to figure it out. I like big pictures, and like I've mentioned on many of my tutorials, my people in the Philippines, because I do have an office there that does all of my social media and ensure that I look good. Therefore, they have given me the structure on what other websites have been successful at. Meaning, the top 25 companies in the world, they look at their websites and then they mimic them to reproduce it for me. Now, it can get kind of expensive, but I want to be just like IBM. I want to be just like Microsoft. I want to be just like Airbud. I want to be just, when you look at this site, I want you to get the same impression if you pulled up AT&T's website, if you pulled up Microsoft's website, or if you pulled up any website that's out there, you're going to see a bunch of big pictures. That's just the way it is. So I'm following the trend of what's successful. And you're following the trend of what I'm doing, because I'm hoping that you see me as a mentor and someone to mimic after because of my success. So as we look further down, we see that the tutorial instructions and some of the other information is kind of like redundant from the other page. You see that there is a capacity to change the language. If you're talking to somebody in Spanish or some other language, you can click right here, pick their language out, and bam, it'll change the entire page to their language. Now, moving right along, you're looking at every 3 or 4 lines. I purposely embedded something called a third-party page, so when they click on it, it will take them somewhere. Meaning this. Now, I know you cannot see my screen because of all the white, and the camera's not close enough to capture that actual scene, but let's say you put your cursor over something and it turns into a hand. That means if you click on it, something will happen. It will take you somewhere. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. I don't want to confuse the tutorial by jumping back and forth. But an application for informing me of what you want is in there. An application for qualifying for money is in there. But the great thing about it is that it says to trust yourself. Just trust yourself. The gallery. Clicking on here will take you to all the properties we've probably rehabbed over the past 7 or 8 years and have successfully either flipped them or we simply hold them in our inventory till the 10-year period is up when we get all our money back plus our profit. I like to use pictures of some of the people I've worked with, some of the people that I think is important. They're all here also. These clickable links simply gives you an idea of what has happened to our banking industry over the last couple of years. That means if you want to know how many banks failed, if you want to know the failure rate in this country, if you want to know the biggest bank that failed, if you want to know what America did to save the banking industry, those 4 links will tell you what happened. Now, will it help you make a sale? I don't know. But I do know this. Knowledge is power. Now, one person said it this way. Education can be expensive. And then the next phrase says, it's more expensive, try ignorance. So you can decide which one you want. Education can be great, but ignorance is more expensive. Therefore, I suggest you search the knowledge. And the knowledge is here. As we move on, you will see that if every 5 or 6 pages is going to specifically say something like 30 to 25K. It's a memory thing. I purposely embedded that number and that program into the page hundreds of times because the subconscious mind picks it up. It picks it up. So when you say it, they've already seen it 30, 40, 50, 60 times, and they'll probably look at, oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about. 30, 225, 30, 225. Because the minimum amount we sell a house to somebody is 30. The maximum is 225 because we will not lend money more than 225,000 unless they got 100 grand to put down. Then I'll lend them the other 125,000. But that's the exception to the rule. Okay, so creating solutions to solve people's problem. A 30K program is designed to do that. Now, when you see this, this is simply one of the methods I use because you're going to come across people with perfect credit. And they may want to just borrow $150,000 and do their own thing. That's what it's there for. Now, in order for you to take advantage of that $150,000 program, you have to have done a minimum of 5 deals successfully so I can trust you with my money. I'm just being realistic. Moving right along, there's other hyperlinks and there's other things that are important for this particular page. And we get down to some neighborhoods. Now, people are going to say, hey, what's the strength of the Cook County market? People are going to say, I don't want to live over here, I want to live over there. You're going to have people with no money, bad credit, want to live in Prettyville. Or they have this La-La-ville in their mind.